What's up, guys? This is Kopter, and this is Casting Call.
Good? Alright. I did not think of an intro. We're going to make some shit up. What's going on, guys? This is Dom, and I'm here with my good friend Kopter, a.k.a. Fabian, a.k.a. Fabs, a.k.a. the GOAT of Europe. And this is going to be Casting Call. I'm going to be talking to all the casters here at Collision 2023, just to pick their brains a little bit, because you always know who's playing, and we're the guys that are talking about the guys playing, but you never really understand who's talking about the people playing. So that's going to be the end goal here. And first and foremost, like I said, my dude, I'm happy to see you in the States. You've been on your grind for a while. I think you got started in commentary, I'm going to shoot in the dark here, 2019?
It was actually, contrary to belief, it was actually just last year, 2022.
What the fuck?
So I started, as a little intro, I started in February 22 properly, because my friend was running a regional, and they wanted some casters, and I said, I'll just try it out. And then people liked it. And then I went to another event the next month and tried that, and people liked it, and it kept going and going and going. And before anyone knew, end of the year of last year, I was at UFA of one of the biggest FGC tournaments, and I got to commentate. Paris, right? Yeah, in Paris, France. Real esports, real esports, and I got to commentate top 8. So it was a huge milestone. And now 2023, I'm in the States, so a little bit of elevation.
I want you to understand that that's not how things normally work. like you don't just like start at a level where people immediately just accept what you do. Like there's a huge grind phase where you have to, first of all, you have to find out how to get into casting. For me, it was a daunting task because I got started commentary in 2015, and this was peak tri-state at the time. Like you still had, oh man, just thinking of the names that we had back on the mic of the day. It was Koopa starting out, it was Gunblade, it was Keitaro, it was Pierce, it was Max. Like it was a tough chance, like even getting on. Yeah. But for you kind of found that niche where you filled a need and you just excelled right away.
Yeah, I feel like thank you. I feel like I was doing, when I did the regional for my friend that started it, I then went to some weeklies and some other stuff to kind of like, not exactly to practice, but just more so to just kind of like understand what to actually do and what to expect. And then I just got a feel for it. And then I was going to all the big tournaments I could. And then, yeah, the year just sped up. And yeah, it's kind of like, hasn't really caught back with me yet, but it's still on the way there. So
I'm still thinking about last year, man. It is you literally like you have been like, you said this was your first time doing singles in North America for Smash Ultimate. You, of course, you do a lot of rivals. You've done singles on rivals. I've seen you do singles, that SmashCon, a Double Down, all that stuff. But for Ult, this being your breakout for singles is, for me, it kind of felt like a long time coming, and it really shocked me when you said like this. Yeah, this is the first time doing Ult singles here in the States. Like, what do you mean you've been here? Like, oh yeah, no, teams, side events, again, other games, but like, how does it feel getting your first chance to really like get the premier blocks? And I know you're doing top 16, you're doing Flambo. That's gonna be fire, by the way. Watch those VODs when you see my boy Flambo and this man on the mic. It's gonna be a hot one. But how does it feel to finally get that chance?
I would say, I think you put it perfectly, is that it's been a long time coming, of course. Like, I'm a very patient person, even though I might not seem like it if you know me, but I am a patient person when it comes to actual real, professional stuff. And I do understand that you can't just always expect it to come in your hands, even though that's why it might appear so. When I got LMBM, Let's Play Big Moves, back in January, and I got the sheet and it told me that I didn't get singles, I wasn't mad. I was actually more so just confused, because I just felt like I thought I could get singles. Yeah. So I didn't let it get me down, of course. I didn't care in that way, but it was more so a case of like, what can I do to showcase that I need to get singles? And it was just more so understanding that like, you can't expect to get singles in your first time in an A. You have to do the stuff that you don't exactly want. Because I'm not a dubs fan, I'll be honest, guys. I'm not a doubles fan. I'm sorry, guys.
What?
Scotch High, Cruise High, not the biggest dubs fan. I know it's.
You one of them squad.
I know the tri-state people be loving that, but I'm not tri-state for a reason, bro.
You just. Bro. Ray give me the thumbs up behind the camera for some.
That's my
I
goat.
want to see y'all play 3 characters, man, because student characters usually dog shit.
That's my goat. But either way, yeah, I understood that it was more a case of like, okay, that's fine, I don't mind, you know. And when I did doubles and crews, I still got the good reception. And it was just more so a case of like, whenever it happens, I'm ready. And I feel like at Collision this weekend, I feel ready. A lot of people are telling me that, you know, it's good to see you on singles finally. A lot of people complained that I wasn't at singles at LMBM and that I didn't get it for Genesis. And it's just a case of, in my opinion, of like, it's understandably okay to be kind of upset. But for me, it was more a case of, cool, but when is it my turn to do singles? And it's this weekend. So that's how I feel, really.
We're talking about your come up through the commentary ranks, and I'm talking about how it takes a while to usually get started. I've, like I said, been at it for a couple years now, little bit of hiatus here and there, trying to get back to it. But for you, start here, all the way up here almost immediately. You kind of reminded me of another EU Titan on the mic, Virum, our buddy.
Yes.
Yeah. When he started out, I remember it distinctly because I was there. He got a block at... You're Will, historian, just like me. What's that tournament J-Band was at? J-Band and Rich Brown were in Germany. Was that Syndicate? I think it was Syndicate.
Netherlands. So yeah, Syndicate.
It was in Netherlands.
Yes.
Damn, I don't know my geography.
So, yeah.
Okay. So they were at Syndicate, and I think that's when he started doing bigger events. He did PM locals and stuff like that, but whatever. But that's when he got his time to shine. And then right away they were like, "Yo, who's this guy on the mic?" And then the scene switched over, and they're like, "Yo, Silent Doom? Yo, I want that guy. Bring him to the States." And that's pretty much what you went through. And it's crazy how I've seen that happen twice. But now that Virum's kind of taken that step back, he's focusing more on the video game animation. He's been casting Grand Blue Versus. Sorry. I'm keeping that in. He's been casting Grand Blue Versus, but we don't get to see nearly as much of him over here in the States. But now you get to like carry that title. Have you ever like thought about that? Like, hey, when I come out to these NA events, I'm usually the only guy here, and when people ask for me, they're pretty much asking for the best to come out of Europe when it comes to, you know, this commentary stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, how does that sit in your brain if you've thought about it?
Well, I think that's actually a really good question, because people always like to. It's like with players, where we fly out EU players and they bear this thing on their mind where I have to represent EU. And in my opinion, personally, I don't think it matters. I'm not casting for EU, right? I'm casting to the people that are watching the tournament. Same way a player isn't playing to rep EU. They're playing for them. You know, they want to win. If they win money, it's not going to the EU. It's going to them. You know what I mean? If I'm getting publicity from casting for doing a good job, or either way, if it's doing a bad job, it's all on me. Do you know what I mean? So even though it's good to represent EU, that's not in my mind. I am glad that EU is getting put on the map, because I am a big advocate that EU has got some of the best casters in Ultimate. And personally, there are a lot of them. I can name so many that they just don't have the opportunity to go to America, but if they did, they would be killing it, just as I am. So yeah, but in my opinion, I don't ever think about, oh, I need to be the next Virum, or I need to be the next European star to really blow out. It's more a case of, I am a really top caster at the moment, and I'm doing a really good job of representing EU, which is good. You know, there's a little bit of a difference. I will say that Virum, shouts to him, of course.
Please come back.
Yeah, please come back. He's been huge in not so much inspiration, but just his level of casting. I like to watch a lot, and not necessarily take picks from or learn from, but just see how he talks, how he assesses situations. And it's been really good to I'd say learn. Like, just learn in general. Not exactly take things from, but just learn how he does it. And, you know, applying your own style is how I kind of rose to the top in EU quite fast, is because I always say to people, once you know your style, once you know how you have to commentate, I think it's just smooth sailing, because you know what you need to do now, right? It's smooth as butter. You know what you need to do. You just need to just keep going at that pace. And I feel like me and Virum hit that stride so easily. And I think that's where some commentators might wither a bit, because they don't really know what to do. Yeah. They might take some stuff off other commentators from the top, like EE, Hazmat, etc. So it's just more of a case of like, what can they do to kind of be unique? What's your USP? You know what I mean? I know I did a marketing degree, so I'm kind of selling my business part, but like, what is your USP? Why do you cast? You know what I mean? That's what I ask myself personally. That's what goes on in my brain.
You see why I like this guy? That was. I don't think about it. That's raw as fuck. Oh my god. since you've been casting events pretty much since last year, do you have a personal performance of yours that sticks out as, yo, I went out there and I did my goddamn thing? Like, this is my favorite performance. Like, and if you have one, which one is it and why?
Easily, hands down, without even thinking of it, is UFA. Because I don't know what it was. I think it's just that all the UK commentators, because just to put perspective, a little context, is that at the moment in UK at this very current time, commentators for Smash do not get paid at all. It's all a hobby, and it's not exactly the most competitive it's been, even though it is quite now because there's so many of us. But we all do it as just to help out the TOs, right? So going all the way over to France, where the government actually sponsors esports, that's why there's so many French teams. Going over there to France, and they have production that's better than, in my opinion, some US events.
Okay, no,
it is quite actually, it is one of the most biggest step-ups ever. How business preferred it was, how professional it is. We got everything paid for. Like, I didn't pay a single penny over there. I got everything paid for. You know what I mean? So just to step up there, I just feel like it kind of raised UK's ego, head, whatever, and we just put on probably, I think, every UK person that went to that event put on the best performance they've ever done. It was insane. I even made a highlights video of just UFA because I've never done that before, but I just felt like that was really my case of, like, if you want to know how I cast, just watch that highlights video. I always link it to people. It's actually one of the reels I link now. Instead of my actual reel, I link that reel because I feel this was better. It was only at UFA, but it was just, and I did a lot of commentary. I think I did over the weekend 15 hours of just talking. By the time by Sunday when I was doing top 8, I sounded like a little frog. You know what I mean? So it wasn't exactly the best, but either way, it was good to really get myself out there. I would definitely put UFA easy. Just a fantastic event in general, and the vibes were just, I don't know, it's made it better anyway.
Send me that reel, the highlight bit, so I can throw it on the video when you bring it up.
Definitely.
I feel like I know the answer to this question. I'm about to ask it anyway. Of all the casters you've had to work with so far, because even though you've only been out at a short time, because of your position, you've had the opportunity to work with a bunch of people, whether it be in Europe or here. Your favorite co-caster, and actually, I'm going to chop that question in half. Your favorite co-caster, who is it?
My favorite co-caster? So far, this actually could be seen as quite a hard question because I actually, when people say who would you like to commentate with, I always say anybody because I like to pride myself on the fact that I don't mind who the hell I'm casting with. I just want to talk and hope they can talk with me. Do you know what I mean? I like to have I think I can have synergy with anyone I work with because I don't get shy or anything. But I think overall, even though I've had like a static thing with Yabuki back at home, we've been doing our own thing quite a bit. I would actually have to say overall it'd be Ramses. I think Ramses makes my commentary stand out so much because I make his stand out so much. In the most respectful way possible, Ramses is the biggest nerd of Smash Ultimate. And I mean that. I think he's a bigger nerd than Charles, a bigger nerd than Tony, and a bigger nerd than Last. Obviously, they're all in their own rights. They're all amazing at the game in the mental mind, right? They know the game inside and out. But I just feel like, personally, I feel like Ramses just knows. So many situations he just has knowledge on. So much little minute obscure data he just knows. And it really highlights in the way that he speaks. And obviously it's not exactly the biggest fan favorite type of style that people may like. Analysts, people always say, oh, keep it with an analyst desk. But Ramses finds a way to put it in commentary. But when you mix it with someone like me, who is not at all an analyst, right? It does actually balance quite well. We know it's quite robotic in the fact that we know both our roles. In fact, that he'll find a situation, he'll talk about it in loads of different ways and explain why and explain what you expect and all that. And I'll be on the back, hyping it the hell up, making a quick quip about it, and really explaining it to the viewer as well. And I feel like that whole experience is like, in my opinion, the perfect level of casting. So whenever me and Ramsey's doing a block, it just feels like, wow, like we just killed that. And we say that every single time to each other, like, wow, bro, we killed that. Because I feel like, in my opinion anyway, and in his opinion too, we just work so well. So I feel like overall, even though I have the most fun, if that makes sense, with Dan, with Yabuki, I think overall the best commentator I've had, co-caster, would be Ramses for sure. I think, shout outs to him, he is, I think he's amazing. I think he's an extremely good commentator, coach, and player. That guy does it all. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. No, if by chance you're watching this, Ramses, keep doing your thing, man. Like Fab said, biggest nerd for Ultimate that we know, but we need nerds in this game, man. Because a lot of y'all don't like to study, a lot of y'all don't like to practice, but we got someone that likes to do both and they cast, brother. That's also someone who should come over for some NA events, man. Y'all need to start looking at Europe for some commentators because they got a hell of a lot of them. But I'm probably sitting next to the best one in my personal opinion. Completely unbiased, of course. Completely unbiased. Let's see what else we got on here. Final question. Since we're here at Collision, I'm going to do a little prediction thing and see who's right. Who's winning Collision?
Spargo. Spargo is winning Collision. I think that kid has got more than the dog in him. That kid has got every damn animal. That kid is raw incarnate, bro. And the craziest thing is, I'm not even trying to make everyone laugh. The craziest thing is that I'm the biggest Cloud hater in the world. If you ask anybody that knows me, I hate Cloud. I've had PTSD from that character from Smash 4 when I was a little Pac-Man main. You know what I mean? I hate that character. I don't play Pac anymore, guys. Not really. But either way, I just feel like Spargo, he might not have like the best opportunities at the moment. Like he kind of not fumbled, but like it's not getting first at the moment. But I just see him winning Collision, bro. I don't see MKLO. I don't see Tweak. I don't see Light. I see Spargo. I really just see him, just Spargo. And I think Spargo's winning Collision.
All right. Lock it in. Fab says Spargo's winning Collision. Now, when and if he's wrong, yeah, we have the proof, nigga. We have the fucking proof. Now that we're wrapping up, if you want to plug socials, next events you're working, anything that you might have be cooking up in the back, now's the time. So now that I'm giving you the soapbox to stand on.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'll say thanks, obviously, for having me, and thanks anyone that watches. Really respect the grind, the content grind, Dom. And I just want to say quickly that I think. I'd hope to have more experience with you as a co-caster because the one weekly we did,
it was a lot of fun.
It was like butter. It was like we'd done it before. But either way, to plug my socials, I just want to shout out my sponsor is Reason at the moment. Reason FGC, the craziest, most supportive sponsor I've ever had. Well, first only one I've ever had, but still they're a great family to have. Obviously to support myself is Twitch is Fabs97, Twitter is Kopter with a K. 2 underscores below, and then of course the YouTube is Kopter YT. Be a lot of stuff going on there this year for sure. The content grind is definitely improving. I'd say it's going at a good pace. And then events so far. So obviously we've got Collision. The only next event I know that I'm going to in NA is Major Upset. Never been to the Pacific Northwest, so I don't know what to expect.
Rain.
Okay, well that's UK, so I don't get. Okay.
Got that out there.
Yeah, we got that too, bro.
They got a lot of that out north.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So yeah, Major Upset. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, it's my first time there, so I like to meet people, man. I don't mind. Like I said, I'm not a shy person at all. I just like to just go to events by myself, even like Collision, and just talk to people and just make friends. That's what I like to do. So I'm looking forward to that. But either way, thank you again for letting me be on here.
Of course. All right. And as far as this one goes, this is a wrap. I'm Dom. This has been Fabs, a.k.a. Kopter. And this is Casting Call. I'm going to be getting another one of these casters in here very soon here at Collision 2023. But until then, that's all I got. Thank you. Shake my hand, man. Thank you so much. And I have to keep saying this every time I see you. Like, I'm actually, like, so fucking proud of you.
Bro, I appreciate it, man. I've been getting a lot of it, and it feels good. I'm not going to lie. It does feel good. Just gotta, keep doing my thing. I'm ready for Sunday though.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm hitting